everybody. Welcome back to the Huddle, the Review.com's weekly high school sports show. I'm Rob Toder, joined as always by Mike Brown. And Mike, let's talk NBC championships because we've got one in baseball.
Absolutely. The Marlington Dukes, who have a rich history in baseball in the NBC, Rob, they went to Minerva on Thursday night, got a win against Alliance, and they're the outright champs. So, they've, like I said, we talked about their rich history. Canton South has the most NBC baseball titles with 8, but Marlington's clipping at their heels with 6. So, congratulations for the Dukes. That was a great win. They've had really good pitching this year with Brock Begg, and then their win, a couple of wins this week. His brother Jake Begg has had some key hits and some outstanding plays in the field to lift the Dukes to the title.
What do you think the Dukes' chances are in the tournament, Mike? Because now they go to Youngstown for the district tournament, maybe facing some teams they haven't seen before, maybe some umpires they haven't had before.
Right, there's some uncertainty there because, obviously they've got a great team, but they're going to be facing teams that they probably haven't seen in the regular season, so all bets are off when it comes to that. But, that kind of makes it exciting, too, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, how about softball on the NBC? It's a tight race.
It sure is. We have some really quality teams, like we said before. Louisville's in first place. West Branch got a key win over Marlington on Thursday night, so West Branch is in second place, and Carrollton's clipping at their heels. So it's probably going to come down to the last week of the season. Louisville is in the driver's seat right now, but there's still a couple key games to be played, so that's going to be fun to see how that plays out, Rob.
Let's turn our attention to the Oval, and the track and field is starting to heat up. Alliance boys are off to a good start at the midway point of the season. Talk about the boys and girls track teams.
Yeah, the Alliance boys are having their best season in many years. They're 4-1-1. They have one meet left in the regular season next week. Marlington's having a great year. Salem's having a great year. And it's a weighted thing in track in the NBC. Not that I agree with that, because I've seen a couple teams go undefeated in the regular season and have a bad league meet and not win a piece of the title. So there's a lot of pressure in the NBC meet, which is going to be next Friday at Mount Union Stadium for these teams. All these teams have their regular season duel, their final NBC duel on Tuesday. Then they turn around, they'll be in the league meet on Friday at Mount Union, Rob. So a big week for area tracksters next week.
And what's the key for the league meet? Just not only obviously you want to win, want to win events, but
right.
You have to have some depth as well.
That's right. That's what it comes down to, because really, if you win the dual meet title, you have to finish at least third or higher to get a piece of the title. So if you have, I've seen teams where they have runners injured for the league meet, and I've seen a couple teams finish fourth, even though they finished undefeated in the regular season and didn't get a piece of the title. So there's a lot of pressure there next week for those kids.
Let's mention Sydney Smith from Sebring signing this week with Marietta College for softball.
What a great career she's had. A 3-sport star. I believe she's won, I know she's in double figures for letters earned, which is tremendous. And she signed this week with Marietta College for softball, and I think she's going to be a great addition for that program.
Okay, we don't want to leave with you without talking about tennis because the Marlington Dukes boys tennis team having a great year as well.
Right, they have the best record of the immediate area schools. They got a win over Canton Central Catholic. That was on Wednesday night, and they'll have their the tournaments coming up next week as well. So it's a fun time. The tournament's a little bit of unpredictability, but we've got some quality teams in all sports this year, Rob, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I know you've talked highly about our track and field athletes and their chances for Columbus as well.
When you think about this, just the St. Tom boys and girls alone, the St. Tom girls returned most of their key performers from last year's team that won the Division III state title. The St. Tom boys sent 10 people to state last year. All 10 come back this year. So just in the St. Thomas girls and the St. Thomas boys, we could have at least 20 kids from one school going to state. And when you combine that with the other areas, we could have as many as between 40 and 50 kids going to Columbus. And this area is so rich in track. We have turned out so many individual state champs and team state champs, and I look for that to be the case again this year.
Okay, great. Well, make sure you check out the Alliance Review and the Review.com because we'll have previews and coverage of all these events next week, and especially as they get into tournaments. So for Mike Brown, this is Rob Toder. We'll talk to you next time.